Welcome to another episode. Today we're going to be speaking about long distance driving. Now I don't have much experience with this, so I have my friend Simon here and he's going to be going through what it's like to drive in Europe in an electric vehicle. So make sure you hit the like button below, hit subscribe if you haven't. I'm Luke and this is The Future is Electric. So Simon, thank you for your time.
Hi, right, Luke.
You have a lot of experience in overland driving, even from before you got an electric car, which is important because we can compare. Something I don't have any experience in. I've stuck to Malta for my driving. And I'd like to ask some questions, because we do get a lot of questions on the Facebook group about going up to Sicily, for example, which is our nearest sort of country/island next to Malta. A lot of Maltese like to do this. So tell us, we're getting on the ferry here in Malta for this trip to Italy. What's the process?
Now, first of all, I want to start before.
Sure.
I am considered to be an ex-petrol head.
Okay.
I used to love Honda, and I used to own a Honda Civic.
Okay.
But I said to myself, it's time to move on. Technology is there. I've done my research as well. And when I was shopping around, I wanted a car that doesn't limit me. Because me and my wife and my family love to just go on the catamaran, go to Sicily and drive and keep on going.
Excellent.
In fact, I even managed sometimes in 3 weeks doing 7,000 miles on my previous car.
Right.
So I wanted to do the same with an electric vehicle. I waited for the technology, and the technology is here now.
For sure.
Without no compromise. And I chose this car, which I think it's the best value for money at the moment for long distance driving.
Excellent.
Then we went to some planning, like I do when I go overland.
Exactly.
Because you need to plan, even if you have a petrol car, you need to plan where you're going, your stays and everything. And I wanted to start small. I started with the first journey and we wanted to go to Sicily. Obviously, I don't want to start to drive and just stop immediately. So we went to Nicolosi, on the further part of Sicily next to Mount Etna.
Okay, so Nicolosi is north of Catania.
Yes,
quite a bit more.
Yes, a bit high up.
So you went with a full charge from
my house.
From your house?
From my house, I had a full charge. Went up to Nicolosi, and I ended up at about 62%.
And the ferry docked in Pozzallo, which is the south of Sicily.
Yes.
And went all the way up nearly to the top of Sicily. We're saying.
Yes. And ended up
full
with
charge.
62%.
62%.
Yes, of course.
So it's not like this journey, which is quite long, took a whole charge or anything.
No.
You barely scratched.
Yes, because Sicily is small.
Yeah.
It's not big.
Near Malta it's big, but in theory it's small.
Yes, and I did not compromise on my driving style either. I was driving 60 to 70 miles an hour, depending on the traffic.
Right.
Obviously, and I was going uphill.
On the way up.
Yes, so that's a disadvantage even for a petrol car and even for an electric car, because uphill the car works harder and you will consume more energy.
Exactly.
There's absolutely no difference. The only difference that there is that you have to plan your journey before.
Yes.
That's all. But nowadays the cars, and then there's the application inside the car,
exactly.
And it will tell me, listen, I'm not gonna make it. You need to stop here. It will tell me before I left the island. The car was telling me if I need to stop, and obviously I knew beforehand that I'm going to make it, so I had no issue. While I was in Sicily, obviously I was on holiday. We drive a lot, like crazy every day. Oh, no limitations. No limitations, nothing. Because I'm on holiday, I want to go left, right, center with the kids. Go to parks, go up to Mount Etna, go down again, go shopping in one day. We spent 4 or 5 hours a day driving the vehicle, but it was no issue because, or I had charged at the hotel, because Sicily, most Maltese people don't know, but when you look for a hotel, generally in Sicily it's already a trend that there are destination charges in the hotel, and ironically they offer it for free.
Right.
So basically my trip in fuel...
What power/speed would those be at the hotel?
7 kilowatts, 8 kilowatts. It
doesn't, which is quite good actually.
Yes, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, because you're sleeping.
I'm sleeping. I got to the hotel, wake up.
Amazing.
80%. I never charged my car full. Didn't matter.
And I think
I didn't charge every day when I was on holiday. Sometimes I left it 1 day, 2 days without charging, and then
I think it's important we give context to the car. So this has quite a large battery, to be fair.
Yes, it's an 82 kilowatts.
82 kilowatts. So this is on the larger end of the spectrum.
Yes.
It's probably bigger than, say, the average battery at the moment.
Yes.
So you chose it in particular because you knew you were going to be doing these long trips, and a bigger battery helps because you need to charge less frequently. I
chose the bigger battery for two reasons. The first reason, because I want to go overland. And at the moment we're planning to go to Gardaland.
North Italy.
Yes, I think it will stop 3 times to charge.
Right.
When I did it with my petrol car, I had to put in fuel 2 times. Right. So that's very close.
Yes.
And the stops won't be that long. It will be about 22 to 30 minutes each of stops, which you need to stop.
Yeah. I want to make this clear because some people have the sort of illusion that to stop to charge is going to be an overnight charge. This is not the case. On the motorways, we have around Europe the DC rapid charging network, where the speeds are a lot faster. So a full charge would take how long?
If you're at 0 to 80%, it will take maximum 30 minutes.
30 minutes. Which
when I am on the motorway, I never stop at 0. Because you would be a madman. Like when you're driving a petrol car, you never let your tank run out. You're on a motorway. You just plan before because you don't want to get stuck, both in petrol, both in electric vehicle. I think the same. So I'm cautious when I'm driving because I am abroad. And then you just put, if I say stop at 25%, which is optimum for the battery, or 20%, you will take about 15 to 20 minutes break at most. And you have an 80% or 85% to charge. And that's it. You just have a coffee.
Exactly.
And I have got kids, so you need to stop. More than 4 hours I don't drive.
Exactly. And
because I'm on holiday. If I'm on holiday, I'm not driving like I'm going to work, driving like I'm not in a rush. And I have to enjoy the scenery as well.
Excellent.
But it's not limited.
Very good. And so that was your longest trip so far, the trip up to Sicily.
Yes.
And now you're planning the longer one.
Yes, and hopefully we'll do it this winter.
Right. And previously with your petrol car, because you've been overland several times, what other journeys have you made, which are like long distance, which you can sort of compare a bit?
I've done I think on a single stretch, I've done 7,000 miles in 3 weeks.
Right.
And I think this car is capable of doing as well. Not only this car. If you have a big battery, you don't need to plan much. You just a week or 2 weeks before you see where you're going, because you need to know where you're going. You need to plan your hotels and everything. And along the route there are always chargers, Ionity chargers. They're really reliable.
So that's what you use, the Ionity chargers.
Yes.
So these are not only in Italy, but these are around Europe.
Yes, of
There's
course.
A whole network.
In Sicily, there are in Sicily. I've tried them. It's just plug and play. Just plug them in, and they ramp up quite significantly. It's not 50 kilowatts. You go on 125, 135 kilowatts of charging. Yeah. And if your car accepts more, you can go even to 300 kilowatts of battery charging. But this car does not accept that.
Okay.
That's the next generation. This car goes only to 125 kilowatts before the software update. On the next software update, it will go another 10 kilowatts, 135 kilowatts of DC fast charging.
Very good. So, like, to use the Ionity chargers.
Yeah, you need.
Actually, before, what I wanted to say is, I mean, in Malta, our fastest DC chargers at the moment are 50 kilowatts.
Yes.
So this is more than double the speed on the Italian network here. So I think it's important for people to understand that, because that's why maybe in Malta you feel that you're charging slow, and that's versus the DC, not the AC chargers. So they're very fast, these chargers on the highway.
Of course, they're really fast. And there's no compromise. The technology is already there. That's what I can say.
Yeah. You are stopping to charge the same time you would have stopped to fill up petrol, have a coffee, and have a bathroom break.
Yes, of course. Sometimes that's my limiting factor when I'm driving about. It's the bathroom break. It's not the battery of my car.
Yeah.
That's the reality. And you just need to stop.
Exactly.
And you plug in. Usually my car will tell me as well how many chargers are there, if they're faulty, and if they're available as well. So I have the peace of mind. If, let's say, if I'm 100 kilometers away, I know already. If there's something wrong, I know.
You can find another one.
And I'll find another one. Then there are 6 stations that which are operational or not.
Very good.
And if you don't have this software in the car, there's also Charge Map. It's an app.
Okay.
And I use it for redundancy. Like when I used to have in my other car a GPS on my phone, I used to have another GPS
Right.
as a contingency, because that's the way. Because once I was driving and my GPS just gave way on me and had no GPS. I have to figure it out. So now I'm cautious from that experience.
Very good. So you can either use the app or you can use, in this case, I think it's because of this car, the Volkswagen, have the sort of software integration that it works directly with the Ionity charger. So it's a plug and play. You don't even log in or anything.
No, that you need to pay a subscription before.
You pay a subscription?
Yes, you pay a subscription before.
Okay.
And then you can use the car. You just plug, no apps, nothing. That's what I want.
It recognizes.
Yes, because you have the app already and you paid your subscription. And once you plug in the car, the system knows itself. It's like going to the fuel station. Because
this is what Tesla have.
Yes, because what I don't like even here in Malta, it's the app. When I go and fill my petrol car, because my wife still owns a petrol car, I don't pay any subscriptions. I don't download any apps. I just go in the petrol station and fuel the car. I don't know why in Malta we are trying to invent the wheel with the apps and many steps and everything. It doesn't make sense. I want to go to the charging station in Malta, just plug in and charge.
Yeah.
What I saw in Germany, because I was in Germany as well, there are special stations there that you just plug in and they just give you a trickle charge, a 2 kilowatt, which is nothing. But then as soon
away.
Yes, right away, nothing. The charging station doesn't know who you are.
It just starts charging.
It just starts to give you 2 kilowatts as a courtesy. It will give you a 10 minutes grace. You go in the shop, there's a point of sale.
Right.
You just present your
card,
Visa. That's how it should be.
Yeah.
And then you will tell the station by the number, let's say number 5, number 10, number 50, because there was 80 stations at this location.
Wow.
And just tell the station, I want to charge with 20 kilowatt, 50 kilowatt, and you are getting charged accordingly.
According to the speed.
The faster the charge, the higher the rate.
Okay, which is fair enough.
Which is fair enough. That's how it should be here in Malta.
Yeah.
And it's seamless. You go have a coffee, come back, and the car is done.
I'm curious if you've ever checked, going back to like Italy, like a breakdown service, if for whatever reason the car needs towing.
Yes. The insurance that I have covers that.
Right.
So let's say if I break down, which any car can break down.
Of course.
Why the insurance have? Because I used to have it before. If I need to get the car towed down, even if it's a petrol car, you will have to tow it down. So my insurance covers it. That's how it is. And there's no extra cost for that. Because they treat it the same as a petrol car.
Very good. And you were showing me before like how the car on its own sort of plans the route. So this is the route up to Gardaland, I'm guessing.
Yes.
And explain to me. So it's showing us that it's going to take a day worth of driving from here, right where we are in Mosta.
Yes.
And it's going to sort of, well, you can already see the chargers, which is great, that are around. But it's going to tell you where you're going to charge.
Yes.
And the power of those chargers.
Yes, of
and
course.
And how long it will take. Amazing.
Yes. That's the distance that we're going to travel. If we select to go Lago di Garda, it's 1,600 kilometers. And these are the stops that I will have to do. I will have to stop at NLX, which is a charging station of 300 kilowatts. I will spend 19 minutes. If we stop at the station, which I can opt, which I will do, to skip this one, it will be an hour. That's too long. Okay. And then there's the other charging station, which is 100 kilowatts, and that's 40 minutes. That's not long. That's not long at all.
In essence, the car is doing all the planning for you.
Yes.
You don't even have to think about it.
No.
I mean, you can choose to, but
Yes.
you don't have to.
You don't have to. And if you can see, there's only 3 stops to go all the way up. And that's
to the north of Italy.
Yes.
3 rapid charges and you're there.
Yes.
Fantastic.
The car is capable. It's capable of doing over 500 kilometers with one single charge.
Exactly.
But again, I will never do a 500 kilometer journey. Why? Not even if with a petrol car you do it, because you don't leave the car going to empty. That's what people need to understand. Yeah. Because you don't want to stop, not with a petrol car, not with a battery car. You have to plan. So I leave the car to 20%.
You know what I want to ask you? Because you said going up to Sicily it was uphill.
Yes.
Coming back, it was downhill.
Yes.
What difference did you feel there?
I was more confident because I was gaining power on the way down. In fact, when I left Malta, I started with 100% battery, and going up, I finished between 62 to 64%.
Right.
Up the hill. Coming down, I left the hotel 80%.
Okay.
And then ended up with 64% still.
Wow.
And my speed was much higher.
You can see the difference because of the downhill.
Yes, and I took 45 minutes less to come down.
Very good.
Because I ended less traffic as well. I was lucky, but it was seamless.
Fantastic. Simon, thank you for sharing this knowledge, not only with me. I plan on doing this one day, driving up to Italy as well. So thank you for sharing this knowledge. It's clearly so easy. You know, I mean, the cars themselves are literally telling you where you need to charge. And I know there's such a popular question in the Facebook group, and people ask about it and they're worried because in little tiny Malta, we are minutes away from any charging station.
Yes.
So it's very sort of convenient. But when you're on the highway, it's a different story.
Yeah,
and I think it's important that we brought it to light that the infrastructure is already there. The cars are already there.
Yes, of course.
So fantastic. Simon, thank you. Thank you. Make sure if you enjoyed the content, you hit like on this video and subscribe if you haven't. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below. And myself, or I'll ask Simon, because he's got more experience than me, we will get back to you down there. But besides that, as always, I hope we've convinced you that the future is electric.